Welcome to this week's video. I'm gonna look at this thing, see if I figure out what's wrong. If you haven't seen the video where I broke it when I did the Gambler 500. We're gonna hang out here for a while and wait for the engine to cool down and then give it a restart to see if the transmission will give us all of our gears back, because I think it's stuck in second, which would not be good for the 6-hour drive home we have planned. Go watch that first, that's a really good video, and then come back and watch this one. This thing has a couple things wrong with it. The first and most pressing one is that the transmission is stuck in second gear. I did scan the engine codes at O'Reilly's while on the Gambler. Well, I got a whole 2 pages of codes here from O'Reilly's, and they said they've only ever seen that once, so that's not great. And it was like all 3 solenoids in the transmission and then 4 O2 sensors or something. It was a bunch of things. And in my research in that O'Reilly's parking lot, I discovered that all of those things are powered by the same wiring. And so it'd be kind of strange if all of those sensors and solenoids went bad at the same time. So it's more likely a wiring issue. And so I'm gonna crawl around and maybe put a voltmeter on some things and see if I can figure out where that wiring issue might be. I'll let you know if I find anything. So I just pulled this little piece out of the wheel. This was riding with us the whole way home like that and making some really terrible noises. I wish I'd crawled under here and gotten that while we were at O'Reilly's. At least that's an easy fix. Alright, so I unplugged the connector that goes into the transmission. And, well, it's all full of transmission fluid, I think. That could very well be my issue. I don't know how the heck that even happens. I'm gonna have to do some research.
So I found this thread here for Ford trucks. That's where I've been getting a lot of this info from, just because the truck's more common. But if you scroll down, look at that connector. That looks just like mine. So you scroll down further, and someone says, I'm gonna have to replace the whole harness. Fluid in the connector is not uncommon and can cause issues like what this person's experiencing. So it sounds like when they say the whole harness, it's the whole transmission harness, not the car's harness. And so I'll have to drain the transmission fluid and swap out a new harness into the transmission. I just said I hate diagnostics and that has not changed, but man, when you find the issue, it sure does feel good. Man, finding that issue makes me feel good. I hope it's not too bad of a job. It doesn't sound like it's all that bad. It's gonna be a little messy and I'm just doing it on my floor here, so it's not gonna be all that fun, but at least I found the issue. That's the main thing. I did mention in the Gambler video when the light came back on for the overdrive for the transmission that it had happened before, and I almost wonder if this has been happening for a while and it just finally got bad enough that it completely shorted out. So I'll have to do some research, see if I can find the harness online and throw it in some other day. Hopefully that fixes all of my issues and then I can focus on fixing the cooling issues that I've been having with this thing. For now, I am stoked that I found the issue. Oh, one more thing before I let you go. You'll remember that I had to take this crappy spare on there with me, even though I have 2 17-inch tires that are matching to the ones that I have on it right now. Well, in these 2 boxes is $220 worth of brand new 17-inch wheels for this car. So I'm gonna have 2 full-size spares, and I'm thinking I might get a welder soon and actually make a little roof rack for this thing. Look forward to that in the distant future, but in the near future, maybe next week even, I can hopefully get the harness swapped out and get this thing back running and driving. All right, now I get to go to a Blink concert. Leah let her car get a little bit low, and we're trying to leave to go to the Blink concert. I'm gonna dump all this in there and hopefully it starts, or else we'll be taking one of my hoopties, which, while more entertaining, would be a little less economical. Let's see. There we go. I guess I'll dump the rest of that in there and then we'll get going.
Have your fest long enough.
Every day is an anxiety attack. Are you ready?
there's actually one more thing I want to do before we finish this video. It's actually Monday now. I took the Loyale because the AC works great in this thing, and I like driving it. This is my only manual car I have left, I think, after I sold the RSX. So I really like this thing. However, we took it to lunch, and when I went to start it, it didn't have any power. And so we got under the hood, noticed the corrosion kind of just fiddled with these to make sure they were on there securely. And they were. But then we got back in the car, and it started right up. So I think the corrosion on this positive terminal here is just causing it not to make a good contact. So I got to get this thing cleaned off, and that shouldn't take too long. So yeah, it was actually corroded on there enough that I'd use a little hammer to tap it loose, but we've got it off now. Oh yeah, and as you can see over here, if you didn't know this about Loyales, they have the spare tire under the hood. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go grab like a sponge or something and clean this off with a little bit of vinegar, and then I will use a little sandpaper on this part and on the terminal itself, and we'll get it down because this is definitely very corroded. All right, there's that taken care of. Let's see if it fires right up now. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was not doing earlier today. So glad to have an easy fix for that. Man, I love this car. It needs some more attention though. But there is one more thing I need to do before I let you go. My tools. They have liquid in them. I don't know how that liquid got there. Actually, I have a pretty good idea. It was the Gambler. A can of beer exploded in the trunk, probably going over one of those gnarly bumps. And well, the can did not survive. It doesn't smell like beer though, so maybe it's something else, but I need to dry out my tools. Yeah, this thing's full of liquid. It doesn't really smell like anything. I don't know what it is. Oh good, and it's inside of the plastic too, so I guess I'm gonna get a little drill and just drill a hole in here so it can drain. I don't know, it's like I left it out in the rain or something, which I most definitely did not. Wonderful. Okay, so I figured it out. Some oil spilt on top of the toolbox when we were doing the Gambler, and so I just rinsed it off with the hose, thinking that it was at the very least water resistant. I was wrong, and so that's why this thing's been full of water for probably 2 or 3 weeks now. Guess it gives the tools some character, right? At least the last drawer escaped without getting drenched. Well, there's nothing left to do except to leave this stuff all here to dry. Oh, and if you're worried about me scratching this trunk lid, I already did plenty of that when I had the gas can on there during the Gambler, so don't worry about that too much. And I guess on that disappointment, it's time to call this video over. If you enjoyed seeing me diagnose this thing, tinker on the Loyale, and deal with this mess over here, then hit the like button. And if you want to see me fix this thing, hopefully in the next video if the part gets in, then hit the subscribe button. And in that video, I'll probably also have to put all these tools back together. If you have any advice, then leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.